Hey guys, Auspicious Aussie here, and welcome to episode 6 of the AC Milan series here on FM20. Now, today's episode, as you can tell by the title, it is do or die on the final day of the season. We currently sit in third place here in the Champions League spots. However, we only have a 1 point gap between ourselves, Fiorentina, and Roma. So basically, there's going to be one of these three teams that is not going to make the Champions League for this season. One of us is going to finish in 5th place. And obviously, I'm hoping it's not us. Now, our opponents today are going to be Spal. As you can see, they're down in 17th. They're currently fighting a relegation battle to an extent. As you can see, Genoa need a win. We actually just spanked Genoa really badly, 5-1, in the last game I just played. So they're going to be looking to try and stay up here, as are Spal. And it's going to be a very, very interesting final day. Let's go over the recent fixtures here. We've continued the winning streak pretty well since the last episode against Sassuolo. We followed that up with a 1-0 victory away against Torino. Ricardo Rodriguez getting our goal, getting the only goal in a 1-0 victory in the 70th minute. We then returned home and beat Bologna 2-1. As you can see, Kessie opened the scoring in the 11th minute. They then got an equaliser in the 77th minute. For Pione Sisto scored in the 89th minute, giving us all 3 points. And, I mean, you can just sort of see how important those points actually are, considering where we are in the table at the moment. So, it's a massive goal from him. I think it was only his 4th goal of the season, I think. Something like that. Very, very low number, but he does have quite a few assists. We'll do a bit of a squad review at the end, go over some of the key players and their average ratings and goal and assist contributions. The next game was a 1-0 victory away to Sampdoria. As you can see, Castello, his first goal of the season, and it came in the 87th minute. And again, another 3 points, which was massive, and honestly, this game looked like we were about to draw it. Surprise goal, first goal of the season, and again, what an important goal to score. We then had the second Milan derby of the season. This time we were the home team in the same stadium. And as you can see, it finished a 0-0 draw. However, I was pretty upset. As you can see, we absolutely dominated them. 15 shots, only 4 on target, so we weren't very clinical. But as you can see, they only had 2 shots with 1 on target. So this goes to show, we were essentially the better team on the day to an extent. Skriniar, the centre-back, getting a Man of the Match award with a 7.4. One of their other centre-backs also getting a 7.1. They defended pretty well. And the final game, like I just mentioned, was a 5-1 victory over Genoa. Conti getting his first goal of the season as well there in the 2nd minute. We also had Paquita, Kessie, Leao, and Caldera, the centre-back, playing at right-back in this game, getting his first goal for the season as well in the second last game. All right, let's get straight into it. I'm a little bit worried. It's pretty nerve-wracking, especially leaving this to the final day of the season. All right, so in goals we're going to go with Donnarumma. Conti, back from injury. He'll be starting at right-back despite not being 100% match fit. We're then going to go with the usual pairing of Musacchio and Ramignoli. The left back, as always, going to be Rodriguez. Unfortunately, Benassa picked up an injury in the last game, and he's going to be out for the rest of the season, obviously. For 3 weeks as well. So Biglia is going to come in. He is 33 years old, a little bit past it in terms of his physicals, but he's a bit of an Italian legend, really. Well, not an Italian legend. He's Argentinian, but has played a fair amount of football in the Italian league, and regarded as a pretty decent central midfielder. It's going to be his last game for the club. we're not going to renew his contract, and he will be leaving essentially after this game. So yeah, he has the chance to win us Champions League football on his way out, which I think is a pretty decent nod towards him. In front of him, we're going to go with Paqueta and Kessie. They've been in absolute fine form, these two. Kessie, just having a look at him, he's also been improving a hell of a lot. And he really looks solid. Very solid. On the left, we're going to go with Sisto, as we've done so since we lost Suso. And then Rebic on loan will be on the right wing. Leao's going to start up front. He did get a goal finally, I think after about 8 matches or something like that. So he's going to be starting up front. The bench day is going to be Donnarumma, Caldera, Hernandez, Calhanoglu, Bonaventura, Castillo, Brunic, Cavagnera, and Leo Duarte. We are the home team as well, so I'm really expecting us to just go out and put in a performance like we just did against Genoa. Pretty much, it seemed like we were scoring for fun. 5 different goal scorers there as well. And again, Spal, they are playing for their lives. But there we go, Paqueta to Leao. Hopefully he's in goal-scoring form, although it's come at the end of the season, which doesn't really, help us too much. Obviously, it's gonna help us get in the Champions League with a win here today. And a nice early goal in the 10th minute. I mean, an easy tap-in, really. Paqueta with a lovely assist. Really putting it on a plate for Leao. Alright, we've got a corner. Ooh, that should be a penalty, I think. Leao looked like he was pushed. And there we go. Kessie to take it. He's missed a few penalties this season. But he does indeed score that one. 2-0 AC Milan. That's his 13th goal. Again, we're going to go over some of the player stats. I always get a little bit nervous when he takes the penalties. But he has slotted that one away. And I have to say, this is the dream start. 2-0 up within the first 20 minutes. Almost perfect. Alright, Biglia picking up a yellow card. Definitely want to ease him off. I mean, he's old and he's not match fit, so I would say he'd be quite prone to picking up a second yellow. Alrighty. It's also worth mentioning that Juventus have actually won the league. So, our crosstown rivals, Inter Milan, not going to be the champions this season, which is quite a nice thing for us to see. It would have been quite difficult to look at having Inter top of the league. So they're going to finish second, and we, at the moment, are going to finish in third. So that would be perfect. Definitely would be ideal if we can hold on to this victory here. Ooh, they've hit the crossbar. That's pretty unlucky for Spal. Although it was their first shot. I think we'll make a sub here. Who needs to come off? Let's bring Kessie off. Got one of the goals today. And then I think Rebic can come off as well. Of course, he's been on loan from Frankfurt. He's done pretty well, to be fair. I'm actually quite impressed. He's a striker, but he's played primarily on the right wing for us, especially since Suso left. Oh, Castillo with a decent shot there. Alright, we're in a stoppage time. We have a throw-in. There's a minute and a half left. And it looks like we're going into the Champions League for next season, boys. Exactly what I wanted. And honestly, there were times throughout the season, especially in the first half, where things were not looking too good. I mean, I was probably on the brink of getting sacked as Leao puts a third goal in for us, giving him 2 for the night. Sisto with another assist. Perfect way to end the season. A 5-1 victory away from home, and then a 3-0 victory to secure Champions League qualification. And we actually go straight into the group stage as well, which is ideal. That is perfect. And there we go. Full-time, 3-0 victory. And let's go have a look at the league table. I'm curious to see who finished in 4th, whether it was Roma or Fiorentina. Who's man of the match? Yeah, Leao. To be expected. And there we go. AC Milan have qualified for the 2020 Champions League top 3 finish in Serie A. And we've also got the initial wage and transfer budget. 47 million. Not to mention I already have 2 signings that have been set up. I think that's a really decent transfer budget. I can work with that. And I think we can get a couple of decent players in. Good stuff. We'll just praise Leao. We also get 3.68 million for achieving 3rd place. And then 3 million gets paid out for the players. So we didn't really profit too much there. Apparently we've only got a C+, which is kind of boggles the mind considering, you know, we were only expected to finish in the top 7. Anyway, have a little look at the finances. 17.6 mil, as you can see. It's looking pretty grim at the moment. Yeah. I'm going to expect that the Champions League revenue is going to help out massively. And I really hope we can get past the group stage. Anyway, let's do a little player review here. Go into the squad and we'll go by average rating. Top performer this season. Pretty surprised. Pione Sisto, 7.29 in 36 starts. The new signing. He's done really well. Bit of a bargain, I would have to say, at 14.5 million. 4 goals and 10 assists for him. Behind him we have Rodriguez, the left back, also on a 7.29. 3 goals and 3 assists for him in 37 starts. Not a bad return from your left back, I would say. Behind him we have both of our starting centre mids, Paquita, who got a 7.14, and Frank Kessie with a 7.11. As you can see, they both scored a really good amount of goals. We've got Paquita scoring 12 goals with 4 assists, and then Kessie with 13 goals and 4 assists as well. But it's worth mentioning, Kessie does take the penalties, so Paquita's done really, really well to score that many goals. Very impressive. Just below them, we've got Leao, the striker, 7.10, 9 goals, which is pretty low for your striker. Like I said, it's going to be one of the positions we really look at for next season. Yeah, 9 goals, 2 assists for him in 28 starts. Below them, we've got Benassa, 7.08, 35 starts for him. Only the 2 assists, but he is the defensive midfielder. More defensive than a true midfielder. But he's done really well. Below him, we've got Calabria, who did, pick up that pretty unfortunate injury. 7.07. Only 2 goals and 1 assist for him. We then have Musacchio, one of the centre backs. 38 starts for a 0.5 average rating over the season. Very, very respectable, I would say. Biglia didn't really play too much. Only 6 starts, 3 sub-appearances for him. 7.03 average rating as well. Like I said, once his physical started to drop off, he just wasn't really going to be able to play because he'd be teared apart to an extent. Just under him, we have Conti, of course, also picked up a few injuries throughout the season. 15 starts, 6 sub-appearances for him, and a 7.03. And finally, last player we'll go over, Ramignoli. essentially the star man of the team, the big centre back. 7.02 average rating over 38 starts. Good stuff. We also have Donnarumma. Pretty average goalkeeping rating. 6.92 over 42 starts there as well. Relatively good though. I mean, obviously, once we adjusted the tactic and made it more balanced as opposed to attacking, we definitely conceded a lot less goals. I'm going to go into the schedule again, show you guys just how bad the form really was from the start of the season. I mean, we didn't even win a game in our first 5 games. We then, won a couple, won 3 in a row. A couple of bad results there. Won a couple, few bad results, won a couple. And then, of course, the Inter game here was when I essentially changed the tactic here, I believe, for this Sampdoria game. We then lost the Inter game. But since then, we did not lose a game in Serie A till the end of the season. So, the 5th of January, all the way through the end of the season, to not lose a game in Serie A, I think that puts us in a pretty good position for next year. And of course, we're going to recruit some decent players as well. Anyways, guys, that is going to wrap this episode up. You could drop a like on the video, be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel as well. Hit the notification bell, and that'll hopefully keep you up to date with the episodes coming out in the future. And as always, guys, take it easy and goodbye.